Work is usually the most stressful part of everyone's day. Studies in 2010 showed that about 3,000 people were killed in accidents due to distracted driving. Dodd Middle School here in Cheshire, Connecticut is just one of the many schools across the country that uses the inclusion model. And sounds of motors and mayhem could be heard all the way from Hamden on Sunday. FEMA set up here at this trailer in Veterans Park to help with the destruction. And take a look at this incredible picture released from NASA on Tuesday. He emphasized just how important it is to be versatile, to be able to write, edit, and shoot video well, saying that those are the skills needed to be successful. Special education in schools has long been a topic of controversy across the United States. According to the National Education Association, as late as the mid-1970s, about 1 million kids with disabilities were still being uneducated in America. The concept of inclusion was finally introduced in the 1990s. Inclusion means that students with disabilities are placed in general education classes with the rest of their peers on a daily basis. Students receive instruction based on their individualized education programs, or IEPs, while also learn the same core curriculum as the rest of the class. Inclusion is still rare in some school districts to this day, but many have adopted it. Dodd Middle School is one example. Dodd Middle School here in Cheshire, Connecticut is just one of the many schools across the country that uses the inclusion model, placing special education students with the rest of their peers in regular classrooms like this one. And faculty of the middle school say they believe the inclusion model has generally been beneficial for their students.
There was a huge stigma associated with special ed, and I think the biggest change that I've seen since I've been at Dodd is the stigma is really all but gone now, and the special ed kids and the general ed kids really do interact on a daily basis, and the kids don't know which is which is exactly what our goal is.
You know, kids still know that they're identified, but it's not that they're heading off to a different place of the building where, you know, supposedly those were the special kids go onto that side of the building in order to learn. So I really can't see any drawbacks as of this point.
However, only time will be able to tell the future success of the inclusion model. For the New Haven Register, this is Kristen Campetta.
This is the text from me that my sister was reading right before she flipped her car.
You've seen these kinds of commercials on TV all the time, but does the message really get across? Distracted driving is one of the leading causes of car accidents in the United States. Officer Greg Curran of the Hamden Police Department says the signs of a distracted driver are easy to spot.
A lot of similarities to a drunk driver. Weaving back and forth, not staying in their lane, speeding up, slowing down. Someone gets excited about the phone conversation or angry, they start speeding up.
Types of distracted driving include texting, cell phone use in general, eating or drinking, grooming, reading, and using the radio or navigation systems. Studies in 2010 showed that about 3,000 people were killed in accidents due to distracted driving, many of which included using cell phones while driving. Hamden police say that number has decreased since then due to new state texting and cell phone laws. However, distracted driving still poses a threat to anyone on the road today.
Somewhere between 1 to 3 football fields is the distance you travel in that time that your eyes are off the road. Distracted driving is real bad.
I went on a ride along with Officer Curran, and in the 15 minutes we were on the road, we spotted 4 drivers using their cell phones.
Roll down your window. Need to stay off your cell phone, okay? Okay.
Tim Schultz, a junior at Quinnipiac University, has dealt with the effects of distracted driving firsthand after his dad was hit in his truck by a distracted driver who was using her cell phone.
You'll see people texting and fiddling with their phone in the cars, and it's something that I do always think about now with this accident that my dad had, and it's something that people should be aware of. It's a really bad issue that not only in Connecticut, it's throughout the United States.
Officer Curran says that Hamden police will continue to crack down on distracted driving to try and make the roads safer for all drivers. So the next time you pick up your phone while driving, you may want to consider the dangers of your actions, and you may just see this in your rearview mirror. In Hamden, I'm Kristen Campetta. Commuters were not happy yesterday morning when their daily commutes abruptly came to a stop. The trains on Metro North's New Haven line experienced technical difficulties for the third time this year. The delays began when a Con Edison feeder cable failed at 5:20 a.m. in Mount Vernon, New York. This led to major delays in train service on the New Haven line between Stamford and Grand Central Station. Governor Daniel Malloy warns that these delays could go on for weeks. As for now, officials say commuters will be taking diesel train service as well as buses along the Waterbury branch. Work is usually the most stressful part of everyone's day, but for some Quinnipiac students, the commute was even worse.
They had hourly trains from Stanford to Grand Central, but it took us about an hour and a half to actually get on the train because they were so packed and people were pushing and shoving, and it was just a mess down there.
Luckily, I'm not being affected by it, but I honestly don't know what I would have done. How would I have gotten to work? I really have no idea.
I was extremely annoyed. I was upset. I didn't get home until like 10:30 last night. I had a really long day, and Metro North is saying it's supposed to go on for another 2 weeks. So it should be very unpleasant.
It's going to affect my commute tomorrow when I go to my internship in New York, so I guess we'll see tomorrow.
Commuters are encouraged to find other modes of transportation until the problem is resolved. Kristen Campetta, QNN.